Monique Presley, lawyer who's often on our show, is here in Atlanta for the debate as well. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, I'm looking to see which candidate is going to do the right thing. We heard so much in the past few days from the GOP about their president. We've heard so much about the illegal activity that has been going on in the White House. And after today, when Sondland got on the stand and sang like a canary, I need for those Democratic debate candidates to not just come in and talk about vision for the future, but what they're going to do to make sure that Trump gets out of this White House. That's what I want to hear. They have to deal with it directly. And I know that MSNBC has been making some adjustments all day long so that they can pose those questions too, because it's on the hearts and minds of everybody who's been watching.
I do expect them to talk about Sondland, but I do hope they realize that we're in a black city and a hell of a lot more issues come up dealing with housing, dealing with economics, the history of Maynard Jackson, Andrew Young, all these different black mayors, because that to me is also what's been missing. Bread and butter issues that resonate with black folks and everybody else. And frankly, moderators have not been going there.
No, and it's just like Mayor Keisha just said. They wanted to bring something supposedly to a black city, and then it was going to end up being in Sandy Spring, but for Tyler Perry Studios. So I'm thankful for all that we're in right now. But yes, to me, the first thing that has to happen is we have to have a president in the Oval Office who cares about black folks, not just by bringing them in for a song and a dance, but it's going to actually do something for them. And each one of those candidates has to say what that is. And I don't just want some bullet points that they came up with last week, Roland. And you know there's one candidate in particular I got some issues with about that, Mayor Buttigieg. But they can't just come up with talking points. It has to be that they have demonstrated doing work in our communities and have a plan to take us forward.
Now, I think tonight, I said it in Houston, the TSU debate, September 15th, huge, huge, huge for Senator Kamala Harris. I do not believe she took advantage of it. If she wants to be real in this race, she's got to kick some serious butt on this stage tonight.
Well, yes, and here's the thing. She kicks butt on every stage that she gets on. Sometimes she gets the credit for kicking butt, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes her campaign takes advantage of it, sometimes they don't. But I'm here to tell you there are black women who are mobilizing as we speak. This is a big, huge weekend for black women. There's the Black Women's Power Breakfast that's taking place tomorrow that's sponsored by Higher Heights PAC and sponsored by the Collective PAC. And then there's going to be events all in South Carolina to do the push that she needs, because listen, I'm not going to pretend that there isn't a major African American female candidate, a black woman on stage who is a viable contender for president of the United States, and black folks need to get their act together and get behind that. She doesn't have to be your candidate for you to mind her being done dirty. And we see the way the mainstream media is treating not just her but Cory Booker as well. We looked at, for Mayor Pete, they've 659 times, I think it is, talked about the fact that he's a Rhodes Scholar. Cory Booker's a Rhodes Scholar. Cory Booker used to be a mayor before he became a United States Senator. So why is it that our people are not being given what they should be? Yes, there are issues with campaigns, and campaigns have to take responsibility, but so do we, because they do what we require. And there ought to be an outcry, as far as I'm concerned, behind the way our candidates are being treated as people of color.
But these are the big moments, and the reality is millions will be watching. The last couple of debates, TSU, great response, talking about black teachers, but then sort of disappeared with the rest. Again, to me, this is where, and I keep saying this, and I hope our campaign listens, and I wish they listened last time, you have to get the room on your side. To me, if I'm a candidate, I walk out there, I'm saying, first of all, giving props to Tyler Perry, but I'm saying I am going to be co-signing Maynard Jackson and Andrew Young and Shirley Franklin and all those different mayors, because that, when you get the room on your side, it basically reverberates from the floor to the stage, from the stage to the audience.
I agree, but what I'm wondering, and maybe you've got better numbers on this than I do, is who's really in that room? Because the reason it took me so long getting to this section is because I started off in the security checkout for all of the VIPs that were headed to the debate, and there really weren't a lot of people on our big, long security bus you know, we got a police escort to get in here, and it was a super long bus, and it was a lot more people who were not black than were. Now, when you look at the lines of the people going in, it's a little bit even.
Right. But part of the problem is that these debates are for Democratic donors. Yeah. That is the reality. And what they should be for the people in these cities. Unfortunately, you didn't have a lot of people from the public who were at the debate in TSU, and there were available seating. There should have been more people in that room.
Right. Well, I know there's not like one seat left. People were trying to like sell a baby to get seats in there. There's no seats left, but I just wonder if the job was done, as you said, to make sure that it represents the local community as well as representing what is, you know, the big higher ups of the Democratic Party. But either way, you still have to take the room, because if you take the room, then you get the energy that goes along with that. That's effective communication 101, that you got to get your room, and then you get the wider audience with it. And I think it's going to be a big night. I think it's going to be a big night for Harris. I'm looking for it to be just a steady, consistent night for Biden, the same way the rest of them have been.
You know, I don't know. He's going to have, he's been frankly a little unsteady. I
meant by steady. To me, his is like kind of on and off again. I mean, he's the candidate that everybody's kind of like, we know what we're getting, which means we don't know what we're getting, but it's not going to be that bad. But I would like to see a strong night from Booker. I would like for Gabbard to get finished off, frankly, because she has worked my reserve nerve. So if this is the last time that I have to, was I not supposed to say that? If this is the last time, I know I'm in a Democratic House, but I mean it. No, she is a Republican that is wearing a Democratic button on her jacket that says, vote for me, I'm a Democrat. And that's not what this time is. This time is not for all of that. We have to have people who really believe in the core values of our party, the party platform, and want to do things for the people who get them voted. Who gets them voted, Roland? Black women over 45. I'm the block. So I want to know what they're going to say to black women over 45 tonight. That's what I want to know.
Last debate, Senator Warren was actually the one who they targeted, or Medicare for all. Latest polls has Buttigieg in first place in Iowa. He's gonna get the treatment tonight.
Do you know how many people were in that poll? If you scan that room over there, that's the people who were in that poll. I'm not gonna let myself be impressed by that. He has some, and then media wants to call it a surge. Buttigieg surges, and then they figure out how many black people want him. 0. He's polling at 0% for black voters. There's no way he's getting elected with those kinds of numbers. So I don't care where he surges, he cannot get the job done. Do you know how black women over 45 feel about him? Unimpressed. I'm right here. I'm telling you, that's where we are.
What about Sanders? What mustn't he do tonight? Why are you looking like that?
Because you're trying to get in my issues. Let me make this plain. Whoever is the Democrat nominee is getting my vote, and I'm going to put everything I have behind that nominee, because if Trump is still president at the time that happens, then it's all hands on deck. But I haven't seen anything from Senator Sanders this time that I didn't see last time. And I don't care how many Bernie bros or anybody else want to come after me, he didn't get the job done. So I'm looking for improvement. I'm looking for better answers. Every time he's asked a question, whether it's about reparations, whether it's about how he's going to pay for his policies, whether it's about what he's going to do for African Americans, he still seems part tone deaf and part absent action, and that's not going to get the job done. I don't care that he can give a whole lot of rah-rah. We need more than rah-rah. We need somebody who has a depth of understanding of the issues for black people, but for the country, period, and is going to be able to fix them. And that's just that's not where he is with me.
All right. Well, look, we got to head over in about 11 minutes to the debate site. It shall be interesting. 9 p.m. Eastern. It airs on MSNBC. Again, hope for some damn black questions.
Deuces.
All right, Monique, thanks a lot.